Okay, welcome to the stream. Hopefully everything is working. I think it should be. It feels weird because I haven't streamed in a couple weeks now. To just be streaming again. So hopefully everything is fine. I do have a little list written here for what I would like to talk about as far as Pokemon Day goes. Because I don't have a video plan for this Saturday. I'm going to be playing Sinnoh Tour most of the weekend, so I don't have much time. So I think I'm just going to try to take a clip from this and upload it as its own video because I don't really have time for anything else. So I have a list here. I'm going to wait a little bit, probably like 15-20 minutes, and then I will, I guess, just start talking about them. I'm pretty excited for Pokemon Day. Everyone's thinking Gen 2 or Gen 5. Which makes sense. I would love to see them release like a Gen 3 or something. You know, like just throw everyone off. Although there was a short that the Pokemon company made. You're waiting? What do you mean? There was a short Oh, my counter's not even right. 30. Okay, there we go. The short the Pokemon company made on YouTube to announce Pokemon Day was it had like Pokemon Gold, Silver as the game. So I don't know, we can be hopeful. That's what I'm hoping. Although I don't want them on the emulator. I want them to be purchasable separately because I don't want to have to pay yearly or monthly to be able to play those games. I do not want to see those release on the Game Boy Advance emulator that's already on there. I want them to release as their own separate thing. Like, even if they're $10 each, I would prefer that than have it be, what is it, like 50 a year or something? Or maybe it's 35. Because the Switch doesn't have much longer, right? Like, Switch 2 is probably going to come out in the next year or two. So, like, there's not that much... Oh, wrong way. There's not that much more time left for the Switch. It's not there? Let me look that up, because I've seen a couple things, I think, saying... Okay, I'll check really quickly. I thought I saw a couple things saying the event was live. Okay. News. Okay, I do have to say, just because of how that announcement... It starts today at 7. Okay, so I think it's today at like 7 Eastern. She's almost 10 years old in just a few years. See, and I think what's weird, because this is like Nintendo's first like hybrid console, like all of the other systems had something released with them, right? Like the Game Boy Advance, I think, had the GameCube, DS had Wii, 3DS had Wii U. All of those... There's a dragon item. Like, those had... So there were two systems within that time span. One was a home console, and one was a portable console. So I think it's different now that the Switch is both. The Switch fills both of those roles. So I think it's just... Because I think the time gap's still similar. I don't... Dragon item, a lot of those today. I think the time span is similar to other like consoles. I just think we don't have a second one. We just have the Switch. And even then, when I look at like the DS, we had like DSi, which was more powerful. 3DS, you had a new 3DS XL. Well, okay, you had 3DS XL. You had so many different 3DS versions, but you had the new one, which was more powerful. We do not have a more powerful Switch, which is also weird to me, because they made the OLED and the Switch Lite, but those were the same. They were they weren't more powerful. They were the exact same. What do you mean, how long is it going to take? When's the event going to start? It's 0 UTC, so whenever the 7-star raid events start for you, that'll be when this event starts. Which actually, that might be fun. I'll have to play it because I'm, again, pretty sure it's going to be Hisuian Voltorb. And you can't normally catch that in Paldea. So, and boosted shiny odds. So it's going to be really easy to get. Again, like Delibird, I played for a couple hours and I got like 13. I did too. You know what? I think, yeah. Because it's Friday the 23rd UTC. So that's a day behind for me. So I guess, yeah. So it should already be started. Because it should have been Thursday then. Yeah. I'll have to play that, probably. Huh? What are you talking about? Me being live? I am live right now. Oh, okay. I think he's in. Okay, so right now I'm gonna say what I have on my list because I'd like to do it soon. For just to like I don't know how long it'll be. We'll see. I have Gen 2 or Gen 5 remakes, the Legends game for those, Gen 10 Mystery Dungeon game, some kind of new mobile game, and Virtual Console. That is what I have on the list to talk about. I don't know. I don't think I'm really missing anything from that list, but I very well could be. Because I tried making one last year, but it was like, it wasn't good. I could not, like, speak at all. Although for that, maybe I'd want the chat. Maybe I would. I don't know. Gen 2 remakes or Gen 3. I don't want it in the art style. Well, I guess the art style of BDSP wasn't horrible. Just not carbon copies. Like, I do not make it the exact same. Add something. Like, just add something to the game. I think that's the funny thing. This year, like, I think no, it wasn't last year. It was like 2 years ago or something. Everyone was hoping for Gen 4 remakes, right? Like, we want Gen 4 remakes. That's what we think we're going to get. And they did get Gen 4 remakes, but now there's just not as much excitement for it because of how they handled BDSP. Like, you don't have that same level of, I am so excited no matter what. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. Now it's like, I really want them to make a Gen 2 game or Gen 5 game, but I don't want it to be really bad. You know, it's that different angle. I did like Pokemon Legends Arceus, but I feel like that was a very, like, you either love it or you hate it type of game. Yeah. Okay, so I think the best thing is if I just do a voiceover and a small intro, and then I'll start. So I can just start talking then, I guess. Let me start recording this. Okay, we should be good as long as it doesn't start lagging. Okay. So first thing I'm going to talk about for Pokemon Day is going to be Gen 2 remakes or Gen 5 remakes. For Gen 2, I mean, okay, I guess the thing is a Let's Go Johto game is being thought of, which I think would make the most sense as a Gen 2 remake, because the other option is Legend Celebi, which I just don't see them doing a Legend Celebi because you'd have such a small Pokedex in the Legends game. That was the whole point. Like, go catch Pokemon. Well, now your Pokedex is like cut in half. Let's Go Johto, but if they do it, I want to see the roaming beast, Raikou, Entei, Suicune. I need to be able to see them in the wild, like infinitely encounterable, just like the legendary birds in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. If they do not have that, I will be very upset. And as far as Gen 5 goes, I don't know. I feel like that's a lot to put. Like, Gen 5 are considered to be the best games by some. Like, I think Gen 5 has the best art style. I like it because it's still pixel art, but I think the pixel art was handled really well. The animations were nice. And I think it's too soon for a Gen 5 remake. I think it's, like, too soon. Yes, I'm, like, Gen 5 Pokemon, despite it being, like, the first Pokemon game I played, I cannot, like, Gen 5 Pokemon, I don't know. They're the hardest for me to remember out of everything. Gen 5 is just, I don't know why, because, again, I played the Gen 5 games a lot, but they are very hard to remember. I think it's just too soon. Maybe, okay, what I would like, though, is a Gen 5 Legends game, as opposed to just a remake. I think a Gen 5 Legends game would be really good, because then you pretty much have a built-in bigger Pokedex. That is the one thing I wish there was more of in Legends Arceus. There was a very small Pokedex. Hello. There was a, like, super... I feel like 400 isn't a small Pokedex, but it's not big. Gen 5 would add a lot more, and it would make the Gen 5 Mythicals very accessible. And that is, like, the worst part of Gen 5. Like, they've distributed the Gen 5 Mythicals a little bit better now, but with Gen 5, they introduced, like, They introduced a couple Mythicals. I think, actually, can you get most of them now? I'm good. How are you? Can you get Mythicals now? Or can you get all of them? Victini you can't get, for sure. Genesect you can get through Pokemon Go when it's in raids. Oh, yeah, I like that idea. Then we're not looking for a Legends game, though, because they shiny locked all of the Legendaries. So we can't hope for a Legends game for Gen 5, then. Legends game in Gen 5 would not give us our shiny Victini. Okay, the next thing, I guess, is Gen 10, which I don't think is going to happen. I don't know why people are speculating it. We just got Scarlet and Violet, like, 2 years ago. And honestly, I have played Pokemon Quest before. Yes. Honestly, I assuming that the Switch 2 comes out next year, or this year, like late this year, I think Let's Go Johto would make the most sense to come out, because that was the first Pokemon game on the Switch. Quest, yeah. Quest is good. I think Quest was the first game on the Switch, so you want to play that game. That's cool. So I think we'll probably see Johto. Let's Go Johto, because there's probably gonna be a new console, and it's probably gonna be, like, I don't know. It can't play on the next console exclusively. Because it hasn't been announced yet. Unless they throw in a curveball and we get the Switch 2 announcement on Pokemon Day. Maybe. I don't think so, though. I'm very confident that is not going to happen. But I think Let's Go Johto is probably the most probable out of everything, because if we had a Johto, a Johto like Legend Celebi, I think the Pokedex cut, unless they gave us access to newer Pokemon, I think the Pokedex cut would be pretty bad. Although I think in Arceus they went over Gen 4. So okay, maybe not. Maybe Legends Celebi would be good. Or maybe they do something like they did with BDSP, where they have Legends Johto and Let's Go Johto. I could see them doing that. Another thing that was being talked about was the Mystery Dungeon games. I do not think that that the Mystery Dungeon games would, well, okay, there's a chance, because I think there was a leak last year. Or it was on their website or something. I don't expect it at all, though. If people want Explorers of the Sky, but, okay, you know what? No. Okay, I changed my mind. Maybe a Mystery Dungeon game would be good, because that's not a main series game, and it would, if that was all they released, like big game-wise, that would be fine. That would be 100% fine with me, because that's giving them more time to work on the games that most people care about. And I guess that brings us to another good point, updating Pokemon Quest. I feel like there's a dragon item. China got a huge update. Like, they have a ton. I think they have like Gen 4 in Pokemon Quest now. It's not Quest, it's like something else. But I would love to see them update Pokemon Quest. I think that would be a nice thing just to hold people over until something else came. And that may be like their weird mobile game announcement. Okay. That may be a weird, like, there we go. There's our one curveball. Now, biggest thing I am hoping for, at least, because I'm currently in the middle of trying to collect all these games. Gen 1, 2, and 3 games coming to Switch. And this is a pretty big topic, because I don't want to see them release on the like Game Boy, and yeah, it should definitely add Gen 2 in Pokemon Quest. For Game Boy games and Game Boy Advance, I do not want to see them released on the Switch emulators, because I don't want to have to pay for them, and I don't want them to be gone when they shut down the Switch Online, like service in general, I guess. I would love to see like a Pokemon collection, like make 2 of them, where you get, or 3. I think 3 would work nicely. You get, like for $30, you get red, gold. Actually, that doesn't really work that well. Let me just finish through with what I'm saying, I guess. Red, gold, sapphire, and fire red. Fire red. And then on the second one, you have the opposites of those. And then your third copy is the third version of everyone. And make them like $30. That way people can keep them forever, and they could connect to home. Because I don't think if we got them in the Switch Online emulators, I don't think they would be able to connect to home. Although, okay, with Gen 3, like, I want them to do Gen 3 right. I think it's going to be really hard to do Gen 3 Virtual Console right, because you have the connection to the GameCube games. I don't think we're going to see those to Switch. They could be ported, though. I mean, there's a chance. If they port Gen 3, they might port Coliseum and XD Gale of Darkness. They could port those. I think that would be really cool. I don't think that's going to happen. But you lose some Pokemon from the 3rd gen games through that. What I would also love to see is, something that wouldn't be kept unless they just made it all available is the e-reader cards. like for the rare berries in Sapphire, those would be gone. All the special trainers, those would be gone. I think it would be really cool if they added those. And if you also got the Eon ticket after beating the game, and in Emerald, if you got the old sea map, or I think that's what you call it. I think that's what it's called, the old sea map. So that way you had a way to legitimately shiny hunt Mew. I think that would be the best way to port the games over. And I think if they do put Gen 3 on the Switch and they don't add Mew in Emerald, I think people are going to be really upset. Because I think that's the biggest thing about porting Gen 3 to the Switch. Like, we want a way to shiny hunt Mew. And with Gen 2, I don't think this is feasible, but this would be incredible if for Gen 2, Gen 1 and 2, if they had like a link cable for the Switch, right? USB-C to Game Boy Advance link cable. Or not Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color link cable. I think Game Boy and Game Boy Color have the same link cable, but it doesn't really matter. So you have Switch to Game Boy Color. I don't think they would do this, but with this link cable, let's say you could trade between the Gen 2 games. And I think that would be amazing, because then you could have Pokemon from original cartridges into modern games, which would make playing the Gen 2 games and shiny hunting in them really much more worth your time. And I don't think they would do that. I don't know that it makes sense for them to do, but that would be incredible. And I think selling those, they could make a lot of money from people who want to be able to transfer Pokemon from 1 to 9 all the way up. Oh, one more thing. I think we're going to see some kind of announcement about Pokemon Bank and Pokemon Poké Transporter. Just because with the online service shutting down, I think they're going to have some kind of announcement. And I haven't seen many people mention this. They're going to have some kind of announcement. I'm hoping there's some way for them to update it so it stores locally. Like, if you can locally store the Pokemon from Pokemon Bank, it would kind of defeat the purpose of Pokemon Bank in the beginning. But if they could update it so it stores on your 3DS all the Pokemon that you can transfer over, that would make it so Pokemon Bank can't be shut down. Oh, wow. Shiny something. Right as I'm finishing up. Is this the right one? Yeah. Okay, we have a new recent shiny. If I can catch this. What was I going to say? I think it would be cool. Well, so it's not shutting down before April, right? Pokemon Bank is going to stay open past April, but we don't have a date of when it, like... Yeah, well, yeah. It's better than the Undoes, you have to say. The shiny is better, kind of. Bank is going to stay open, but we don't know how much longer, and I don't like that. They said, oh, make sure to transfer your Pokemon. I don't like that. I'd rather... Because then you lose out so many generations of Pokemon games if they shut down Bank. Like, they're just inaccessible. So with that, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover. Oh, no, there's one more thing. One more thing. I predict that if we're not getting one of these big games, another Scarlet Violet DLC. I do not like that empty, blocked off part of the top map. I think we have room for like one more DLC in Scarlet Violet. I think they could do that. I don't know that's the top prediction, but I think it's possible. And I think finally with that, those are my predictions and thoughts about Pokemon Day 2023. If you like this video, nope, I'm just going to end it there. And I'm just going to add in whatever I want at the end. Okay, now I can just like... not structure my thinking as much. We'll see. Maybe I edit some parts out of the video. Or not. I'll just keep it. It's going to be easier. It's not going to do well, but it'll be easier. Yeah, or I think the best option really is just to upload that. And I do not expect anyone watching to watch that. Like CMH, you do not need to watch that, of course. Yeah, a third DLC would be nice. I don't think it would introduce an option to shiny hunt the legendaries. Just because 2 legendaries in one game, I don't know. But Scarlet Violet does, it takes a long time to get through the DLCs. And I know there was a leak in Pokemon Go where it was like DLC 2 avatar items. And then there was also Indigo Disc. Yeah, it was kind of underwhelming. I liked the dome though. There was a lot of like Unova references and everything. But there was a leak in Pokemon Go a while back where it said DLC, like Pokemon Scarlet Violet DLC 2, and that was the trainer item. And then there was also the Indigo Disc, like trainer items. And to the best of my knowledge, those part 2 or DLC 2s didn't come out. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they did. But they had DLC 2 and not Indigo Disc, and there were other Indigo Disc. So I think there's a decent chance that we see Scarlet Violet DLC. A second one. Preferably with the area of the map that's blocked off. I do not want that game to be done like that. It's annoying. Just cut that part off. I don't know. Just don't show that on the map. Yeah, so there's a dragon item. There's a good chance, there's a decent chance then, that we could see some kind of Scarlet Violet update. Or what people aren't expecting either. Yeah, I don't pay any attention to the avatar items either. Really. What people aren't talking about at all is like Kalos, or I don't know, Gen 6. Gen 6 in like remakes. And I think that was a talk for a while there when Scarlet Violet came out with how close it is to Kalos. But then people just stopped talking about that and started talking about Unova. Which I understand, but you know, there's a chance we could also get Gen 6 remakes. Or not remakes, an add-on to Scarlet Violet. Just to finish out. No, I think we have Gen 5 left. Okay, so I could see a Gen 5 remake. Yeah, easier way to shiny hunt Zygarde, or the Pokemon Company could keep going with Scarlet Violet and shiny lock it again. I think a Gen 5 remake would solely make sense so they could get those last couple Pokemon they needed on the Switch. So if they shut Bank down, you don't have to worry. Or they could shut Bank down anyways and say, if you want these Pokemon, you have to play Pokemon Go. People wouldn't be happy, but like it's still possible to get. Be right back. Okay. Like it's possible to get all of the Pokemon without anything other, like only on Switch. Let's see what I'd love to do. Oh, darn it. Soon, hopefully, I can double hunt Kyogre and Groudon, because I'm pretty much at the point in Sapphire. I haven't played a lot. Yeah, the regionals, I have a couple, because GoFest last year, they had them, I think, everywhere. There's a Chair Zone, not shiny. And next year, we'll see them at Unova Tour, or whatever, for the global in eggs, I think. So there's that. I think with Sinnoh Tour, it'll be nice. Oh, dragon item. Whatever. Yeah. It feels weird because I'm only going to have 2. Like, I only have 2 capture cards, too. So I could not do more than 2 if I wanted. It would be stuck to 2. What is this news? Oh. Ooh, Go Tour bonus. A single rare candy. How generous can Niantic be? just opened up Pokemon Go. You can get a free silver pineapple berry and rare candy. One. I guess that's better than nothing, but you're so generous you can give us like one. Come on, give us a couple. I can only shiny hunt 2, no matter what. If I get the GameCube, it can only be 2, because for GameCube I still need capture cards. And if I get a mod, which I'm hoping I can get an SP soon, and then probably get the SP Mini HDMI out mod, which would allow me to stream that, and then Game Boy Advance. I'm still working on that HDMI or link cable to AV or something. So hopefully I can double hunt them. I'm hoping, I mean, I haven't played through Ruby yet. I need to get a second Game Boy Advance system console so I can trade between the games. Because I'd like to have all 3 starters before 2. Just need more ice. Oh, it's the catch like 30 of each. Is it catch 30 of each type or is it more? I don't know. The Mew quest is hard. I bought the Shaman quest. Which I have not really done because I'm saving all my Pokeballs for this weekend. But I should get the Sinnoh done pretty easily. We'll see what it entails. I don't think anything can be harder than the Kecleon and then like the Jirachi research. I don't think they can make it harder than getting 10 Kecleon. I don't think it can be harder than that. That 10 Kecleon I was stuck on for like 6 months. It's 30, just finished the catch up Pokemon day 30 in the roast. The 30, I hate the time gated stuff. What I think would be much cooler, there's a chair zone, is if instead of doing it date gated, you got to choose a path, maybe, where it's like, the Kecleon are so rare, and then after I got the 10 Kecleon, I found like 3 more. So that's fun, and it wasn't during an event, a chair zone, that's nice. So, no birds yet, and we're like 30 minutes in, but whatever. What was I saying? I'd love to see they had... You're playing Pokemon Quest? That's cool. Oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought again. So one task is time gated and one's like difficulty, right? Difficult, okay, 30 days in a row, let's say like 3,000 excellent throws or something, which is a lot of excellent throws. It'd probably take longer than 30 days. So some number like that where it's like to a normal person, it would probably take 30 days to complete that if you're constantly playing. And I think that would be so much better because I would rather pick that difficult one, even though it's probably going to take longer for me. I'm not stuck behind that 30-day window. You know, or make something like win 30 raids. Right? Something where it's like you could complete it faster, but you're probably not going to. I'd love to see for them to implement something like that. Oh, and I want to see the 30 days in a row, 15 days in a row, feed your buddy 7 days in a row. I want to see the in a row tasks gone. I hate those. I miss one day because I have other things to do and I'm busy and then I need to restart over and now it's going to take me 30 more days. That is so demotivating. That's not a shiny anything, is it? I don't think so. Okay. Very demotivating for me. Like 27 days. Oh, I forgot to play. Back to 0. Yeah, I had an alarm set for the 30 days on the Jirachi research. And again, that I was probably stuck on for 2 months though. Any other quest checks? Oh. I do have to say the Masterwork research though, as everyone's like, well, in Pokemon Go you can just pay for them. in the same sense, I'm working very hard for this shiny. Like, the amount of time that these masterwork researches take, don't, like, say, oh, well, like, I guess they're just undervaluing. I mean, I get the fact that you have to pay for the shinies is kind of annoying. But don't say these are worthless because you don't have to shiny hunt for them, because they are still really hard to get. Like, if, let's say, just someone who plays the main series game switch to Pokemon Go to get a shiny mythical, right? It's going to take them a long time to get that mythical. Like, they're not going to be thinking, oh, yeah, they just hand them out. They just hand them out in Pokemon Go. They're not going to be thinking that. They're going to be like, this was really hard. Which I don't like with the shiny mythicals, because everyone, it's just like, they devalue them so much, but they're still hard, and I don't think that's what people understand. Like, the researches take months. You know, especially with 30 days in a row. Like, there was a dragon item. I gotta point that out. The researches take forever. Especially, like, for Jirachi, you need to catch 1,200 Pokemon for the first step, which isn't really annoying, but it's not to say, oh yeah, in Pokemon Go, they just hand the shiny mythicals out for free. They don't. You still need to shiny hunt, or you still need to, like, work for them. Like, it's not the same amount of time as if you were to shiny hunt, but it's a comparable amount of time, probably. Let's say you're a person or let's say you're catching, it's mainly people who don't actually play Pokemon. Yeah. I don't like, if you're not playing Pokemon Go, don't say, oh, they just hand them out for free. Look at the researches. Ask someone who plays Pokemon Go. They are hard. They are difficult. Let's say you catch 2 Pokemon a minute, 120 an hour. Right, which is probably more, but when finding the Pokemon and everything, that's 10 hours for the first stage of the Shaman research. I said Jirachi. For the Shaman, you need like 1,200 Pokemon for a Shaman, and that's only stage 1. Keep in mind, you can hunt Shaman in BDSP, which I kind of debated whether or not to get the Masterwork research for Shaman, because I can get the shiny in the mainline games, but I don't transfer any of the shiny mythicals up. I just keep them in Pokemon Go, because I can't get another in Pokemon Go. Like, even, like, you can't trade them. So, until Pokemon Go is about to shut down, they're staying in there. Which, another thing that came to mind was saying Pokemon Go shutting down. What I would hope for is, if Pokemon Go were to shut down, they would make the transfer fee to Pokemon Home free. So they didn't lock transferring all your good, shiny, legendary Pokemon behind like $20. Yeah, Kangaskhan is one of the better ones, though. I know a lot of the regionals are hard to get. They're way easier to get now, though, than they were like when the game first came out, because Kangaskhan has a Mega. So if you just do Mega raids, right, you can get that globally. Mr. Mime, they have Mime Jr. eggs every once in a while. Got super lucky, yeah. They have Mime Jr. eggs. I have a couple of those, I think. And then Tauros, I think that's the one that's easy to get, for me at least. I think for you too. I'm assuming because you're same time zone. And then let me think. Farfetch'd. Farfetch'd lost a lot of the value of just being a regional, because you can get the Galarian form, which spawns like wherever, and I think you get in Research Breakthrough. And then, is that it? Is that just 4 of them? Farfetch'd, Mr. Mime, Kangaskhan, Tauros. That might be it. There may be one more that I'm not thinking of. But they're easier to get now, I think, which is nice. 151 Kanto. I think I've completed Oh, you know what? I was thinking, okay, I'll probably complete my Sinnoh Dex. You know, normally the tour is supposed to release the remaining Pokemon. Actually, do I have Chatot? How did I get... Oh, did Chatot spawn during GoFest? I think they did. I was thinking, oh, I gotta make sure to get the regionals. I would 100% take Kangaskhan over Tauros. Easily. Oh, wait. I'm looking at the right one. Yeah. Oh, I don't like that. I didn't realize Mime Jr. is in Sinnoh, which makes sense. I don't know why I was thinking otherwise. But you can't get it during Sinnoh Tour, at least to the best of my knowledge. I don't think it's in eggs anywhere. Again, I think the way they did Kanto Tour was amazing. You could catch every Pokemon during the day, and they had research challenges for it. There's a chair zone, not shiny. Right? If you played Kanto Tour or whatever, you got, like, everything. If you paid for the ticket, you could get everything throughout the day. And then Johto Tour, I don't think it was everything. Maybe it was. It was. And then Hone Tour, you could not get everything. Like, but still, everything was released, right? Now, for Sinnoh Tour, these tours just keep getting worse and worse, in my opinion. Sinnoh Tour, not only there's no paid ticket for bonuses or anything. Sinnoh Tour, not even all the Pokemon are released. We're still missing Arceus and Fiona, Manaphy and Fiona. We're still missing 3 of them. And then all of the regionals aren't... There's a dragon item. All the regionals aren't available in eggs. Chatot, Carnivine, and Pachirisu, which is less value when they've been possible to get globally before, in my opinion, at least. But I don't think you can get Mime Jr. Which, again, I don't like the ideas of a tour if you can't complete the Platinum Badge. That'll be fun, though, because normally you do have to complete the Platinum Badge for the Masterwork Research. You know, like, you need to have all the Pokemon, which makes sense. But, well, the Masterwork Research may be more time-gated than we think if you need to get the Platinum Sinnoh Badge. That it may be time gated until GoFest, because I assume for GoFest they're gonna release Arceus, Manaphy, and Fiona. I was hoping this year for GoFest to be Mega Mewtwo, because I got a Shundo Mewtwo. I'd love to be able to Mega Evolve. Like, I'd love that, but you know, Arceus would be fine too. If I could complete the Sinnoh Dex, I would be happy. We have had horrible luck for birds. Like, horrible luck. Got a lot of Dragon item, no legendary birds. I'm gonna try to stream Tuesday for Pokemon Day. I don't know, I gotta look into it and make sure that if I'm streaming the video, like, I'm not gonna accidentally, like, dox myself, because who would do that? Well, not that really, but not doing worse today. I don't really feel like it. I haven't felt like doing anything YouTube related recently. More so because I've been looking into, like, retro video, like, Pokemon games and everything. Looking for them. Looking for the older consoles to play them on. I had an idea for a series, which maybe I'll do, but it's going to be in a while if I decide to do this. And I was just going to save it until the end, but I don't know how feasible it is, and, you know, I don't know, maybe it's just a bad idea overall. I had the idea for a series where I only play X Pokemon game for a week, and I go through and I only play Red and Blue for a week. Only play, like, Yellow for a week, and all of the spin-off games. Wow. I did the math for about what all the games were worth for just the Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, and it was over $500. And I missed a couple, I think. Like, that is expensive. I do not have that kind of money to do with every Pokemon game. I mean, that includes Gen 1 and 2. But Gen 3 is going to be a similar price. You don't even have as many games. I mean, I already have Ruby and Sapphire, but Emerald's $200 by itself. Fire Red and Leaf Green, those are 100 each. So you're looking at 400 already. You have Pokemon Pinball, which is another 50. That might be it. No, because then you have the Mystery Dungeon games. I think they either released Red and Blue or just Red, and then they saved Blue for the DS. Because I have Mystery Dungeon, the Blue Explorer team on DS, but not Game Boy Advance. So let's see, Pinball 400, probably 550-ish. Hello, welcome to the stream. Oh, there's a chair zone. So Gen 3 alone, about 500-ish. And my thought was I only play it for a game, and then I get to see the progression of Pokemon games, and I thought that would be pretty cool. So like playing Gen 3, I'll give myself the best console that was available at that time, and I'll, it'll maybe build an appreciation. How do you feel shiny? Did I fail shiny recently? I'm on OG consoles. Yeah, I mean, if you're just buying them separately, like Red and Blue, those are about 50 each. Yellow's, I think, $10, like 60. And then there are a lot of spin-off games, right? They have Puzzle League. I mean, Crystal's like 100. So, not today? Okay. Crystal is a big chunk of that, and the sheer amount. That's Gen 1 and 2, which is still a lot of money. And then you have the Pokemon trading card game. That was a spinoff. Pinball, original Pinball. Puzzle League, or Puzzle Challenge. Puzzle League, I think, was SNES. Or, yeah, I think SNES. And then, I don't know. I made a list, because I was going to be like, oh, how much money do I need? I'll slowly chip away at this. And I think I'll try to do it at some point. I want it to be week after week after week, but I don't think that's going to be able to happen if I want to make it anytime soon. Let's see. I have a Google Doc with all of them. I need the console and the games of the games I have are TCG, Scarlet, Legends, Arceus. And, oh, I mean, that's a pretty good selection of games. Okay, let me see. We got Red for about 50, Pokemon Blue for 50, Yellow for 60, Pokemon Gold for 50, Silver for 50, Pokemon Challenge $50, Crystal $125, Pokemon Trading Card Game, Game Boy Color, that's about 35 it looks like. So that is about 500, and then you add in Pinball, which is somewhere in there, and it's like an extra 50. So hopefully at some point I can do that. You like Let's Go? I love Let's Go. I think it's a good game. I like the catching mechanics sometimes, not for catching legendaries. That's not that fun. But I mean, it's a fun game overall. Good shiny odds, but not too good. The only Switch mainline game I'm missing is I just somehow lost Shield. So mainline, I think I have them all. I have Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I have Sword and Shield now. I have Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. I have Legends Arceus. And then Scarlet and Violet. I think I have them all. I don't have Shield DLC. I don't know that I want Shield DLC necessarily. Because if I get Shield DLC, I don't know if I'm going to be able to play Sword and Shield at the same time. I'll have to look that up because now I can't play my Scarlet and Violet at the same time, which is super annoying. I don't even think that would have changed if I bought the Scarlet Plus DLC, because I don't think that's on the cartridge. And if you want, no, either that's because I mean that makes sense. Hopefully you can find it somewhere at some point. What was I gonna say? Oh, and if you want like a Sword or Shield Plus DLC, those are expensive now. Those have gone up because they didn't sell well. And I think those are like at 120-ish. It's like I don't think it's worth buying because I have the Sword DLC, but it's been lost for 5 months. I mean, it could turn up somewhere. I know my Mario Kart is lost right now. Mario Kart like 8 Deluxe or whatever for Switch. That's lost right now. I don't know. I'm hoping it's somewhere. Because within my household, we share a lot of Switch games. I don't think that was one. I think I lost that on my own, but so it could just be in like one of my siblings' Switch cases or something, which they don't really use. And you can tell that by the condition of their consoles, but whatever. I try to keep good condition, take good care of my special edition because I don't want it ruined. Because I mean, it's just nice to have a special edition. My OG Switch is like super beat up. I thought when I was pretty young though. I mean, it makes sense. I definitely took better care of it towards the end of my like use of it. I mean, I'm still using it now, but it's not my main Switch. One thing I do wonder is when I'm buying older consoles and everything, like an SP, would it be interesting? Like, would you guys watch like a reshell video of me like reshelling the SP? Or like a mod or something? Would you guys watch that? I don't know, because it's not really Pokemon, but it's like loosely related to Pokemon. You're gonna do some PLA, you got a pretty cool unknown age the other day. I don't know. I might have one shiny unknown. I hunted for unknown for quite a bit, trying to get just any shiny unknown because shiny unknown is cool. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of them recently. Because I like working on electronics like that. I don't do it a lot, but it's fun. Like the restoration and stuff, or like even just taking them apart and cleaning them. That's fun. So maybe I will, maybe I won't. Because also when I'm recording it, it's harder to be careful with everything, especially if it's my first time doing it. I'd rather not break anything, but I don't know. We'll see. I know original Game Boy Advance is pretty easy to reshell. Game Boy Advance SP isn't as easy. But I did swap the top, my dad helped me because I didn't want to break anything, and he's better at that stuff. There's a Charizard. He's better at that stuff than me. But swap the top half of my DS Lite so the hinge worked, which is really nice. I like having a DS Lite that works, or the hinge works. It's much nicer to use. I don't need to carry around this little dock I made for it, so the ribbon cable doesn't break. And the DS Lite is way better than the OG DS. So if I have the DS Lite, which can be like my main, I'm going to use this. I can probably get the capture card for the original DS in there and just leave it and don't need to worry about that. Although they're out of stock right now, which kind of sucks. Hopefully they come back in stock soon and I can save up the money to get one, because I think streaming DS would be really cool. And I'd only be able to do one because first, the capture cards are like $80, which I don't have a ton of money just lying around to dump on capture cards. But the other DS I have, the hinge is broken, like the shell broke. So maybe I buy a reshell for that and then I put the mod in. And it would be me. There's a Charizard. Put the mod in and then I could double stream. I think for that I don't even need a capture card. Like I could stream with that. Then the other thought is I get like a Game Boy Advance SP, TV out mod, and then also get like 2DSs, and I can 4 hunt Game Boy Advance games. Although, I mean, because then I wouldn't need the capture cards for the DS. I would only need it installed, and then it's USB. So maybe that's something I'll do in the future. Who knows? I mean, I'd love to get one of them for sure. New 3DS XL, that is like way out of budget right now because I don't have a new 3DS XL, and then it's a $200 capture card, which I'd love to do at some time, but there are other things that I'm trying to work on right now other than that. can't get a bird soon. I think I'm just gonna end it. I mean, I like right now about is when I was planning to end stream, like at about an hour, because I don't have as much time today. I'm gonna be streaming on Tuesday and then Wednesday. I mean, I don't really feel as bad for ending the stream as early. I should be streaming next Wednesday. There's a chance I won't, but then it'll probably just be pushed to Thursday. I might have something to do on Wednesday. Not 100% sure. But then I hope, I don't know if you're really going to play Sinnoh Tour this weekend, CMH, but if you do, I hope you have a good one. Hope you get lots of shinies. I'm going to be trying to get the Pikachus. I think I got both of them for Hoenn Tour last year. So hopefully I can keep that collection going. Although now I think they have male and female. Go Fest last year, I got a ton of shiny Pikachus. That was fun though, because I was racing my siblings to try to get them all. And then like 2 sets. And then I think I got like 8 of them. Those pop on every once in a while. That makes sense. I'm really excited because they have, I think, Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf, however you say their names, in the wild. They should be in the wild. Last year, I got a shiny Latios. The blue shiny. Or the, like, green. Yeah, Latios. I got a shiny Latios in the wild. That was really fun to just find. I had to spend, like, $5 on Pokeballs to catch it because I was so low. But it was a pleasant surprise nonetheless. You got some Pokemon Quest. That's cool. Okay, let's see. I'm going to do 5 more checks. No legendary. Stream ends. If I get a legendary, I'll catch it and then stream ends. Anyways, this will be 1. An hour with nothing. Maybe I just wasn't paying a lot of attention. Maybe I did fail one. I don't know. 2. Be 2. 3. Well, not 3 yet. 3. Yeah. 4. I mean, as long as the Zapdos doesn't fly out right after I end stream, I'll be happy. Yeah, that's 5. We'll do 1 more. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have to go video. Okay. Hope you had a good day. Hope you have a good Sinnoh Tour tomorrow if you're playing it. Bye.